What up, Buttercups? I'm Mike. This is Annie. We are here to drink some whiskey on this beautiful May 2-4 long weekend up in Canada. So, the other day, we did Redbreast, one of our favorites. We are today going to do another one of, my favorites. I am a bourbon drinker. She's a Scotch drinker. We decided to do a bourbon video first. We're going to do Maker's Mark. This is absolutely one of my favorite whiskeys, if not my favorite whiskey. So, fun fact, this is one of the few bourbons that spells whiskey without an E. General rule of thumb, there is two ways to spell whiskey. One is with an E, and one is without an E. General rule of thumb, if it comes from a country that has an E, there is an E in the whiskey. America and Ireland. So that they put E's in their whiskey. But Canada and Scotland, the whiskey that's produced there doesn't have an E in the name. So that's a fun way to remember that. So this is an excellent bourbon. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon. One of the big defining features of bourbon is that it has to be at least 51% corn in the mash. It actually does not have to come from Kentucky, which a lot of Kentucky distillers don't want people to know. So what do you say, Annie? We're ready to give this a try? First things first, we do it straight up, then we do it on the rocks, then we do it with some Coca-Cola. Let's do it. All right, so we got our little tulip glass. Glug, 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 glug. It's great color, don't you think? Look at that. This has got great legs on it as well. Something else in this apartment has great legs on it too, but let's see what it's like on the nose. Beauty. So on the nose, you definitely get a major cherry note on there.
Yeah.
I've always thought with Maker's Mark, like with the aroma and the taste both, it's like candy. It's almost like cake frosting, candy, cherries, very, very rich. Oh, beautiful. So let's give it a try. Assholes and elbows. Cherries and candy and like honey. One reviewer that I saw actually on YouTube, one of the two guys that I really like watching, he said this is like if you took a cherry and you dipped it in honey and then tried that. That is, to me, that's the best description I can think of that. But this is my jam for sure.
I find it burns.
It does burn a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have a bit of a burn, but what do you say we mellow that out a little bit and give it a try on the rocks?
Okay.
All right. So let's give it a try on the rocks. What do you think of that aroma? That doesn't it doesn't open it up too much.
No,
it's
it doesn't
weird,
even smell anymore.
I might give it check it around a little bit, but it's still about the same aroma as what it was straight up. But I really like this. So all right. Yeah, that rounds it off a little bit more. It cuts down the real sharp edges. This is much more aggressive, this particular whiskey, than Redbreast. It's certainly nowhere near the most aggressive bourbon, but it's much more aggressive than the softer Irish whiskeys that we've tried here before. But
I don't like it as much as the Redbreast.
Yeah, I can see why. I really enjoy this. This is for me. This is really good. But what do you say? Give it a try with some Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so now we're going to give Maker's Mark a try with some Coca-Cola. Yeah. This is what I had last night. We were playing some internet trivia with the guys and gals.
It's much better with Coke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is a great mixing whiskey. I personally would drink this straight up or on the rocks because this is the whiskey I like. But somebody like Annie, if you're going to drink this, probably with Coca-Cola. We also, what's really good in here as well, it complements too, is the cherry bitters. This goes actually really good in a lot of bourbons and cokes, a lot of bourbon cocktails. I would recommend cherry bitters. So just a little thing, and it sweetens it up. There's a nice sweet drink. With bitters though, a lot of times less is more.
Oh.
Don't overdo it with the bitters. Oh, there we go.
That's fantastic.
Yep, there we go. We also, if we put in some Southern Comfort in there too, we have a Cabin Fever, a little drink I coined a while back when this quarantine first started. But so Annie, would you recommend Maker's Mark?
I would if you're going to just mix it with Coke.
With Coke, yes.
Yeah.
If you like a much softer whiskey, like Canada Club and Redbreast and things like that, if you like soft around the edges whiskeys, This one is not for you in terms of drinking it straight up. It is really good with Coke, though. It is a great mixing whiskey. If you like bourbon, I think this is maybe the standard bear for bourbons. It's a very, very popular bourbon. I think you can get it in any liquor store. Bourbon drinkers like me, I'm going to recommend it. One of my favorites for sure. So, yep. Good stuff. Happy May 2 for everybody. We might post this. We did this on Saturday. We might post this on Sunday to see what's up. But I think now it's time to drink some whiskey. Grab some Twisted Tea Raspberry that we have. Drink some of that. And fry up some burgers on the barbecue. I had bourbon on my... So, happy May 2 for everybody. FYI, the reason we're not doing scotch in this video, Annie drank it all last night, so that's why we're not doing scotch. So, also, too, I should mention, I wanted to give the percentage of Maker's Mark. It's 45%, so that's why it's a little bit above the 40. That's why it does burn a little bit. Not too much like the cast, some of the barrel strength bourbons and that. But anyways, once again, have a great weekend.